Welcome back to the channel on the Go Chicago Sports, where we talk about all things Chicago sports and sports in general. You already know who it is. It's your boy Mike B, back with another video, back with another edition of the Quick Hitters, where we talk about a few topics, put them all in one video, and give it to you guys. I hope you guys love it. So far, you guys have been really, tuning into these channels. The numbers been looking okay. I'm really appreciate you guys tuning in, giving you guys your feedbacks, commenting on the videos. I'm always down there chatting up with you guys. So yeah, make sure you guys, if you ain't subscribed, hit the sub button, like the video, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to check out on the Go Chicago Sports, which your boy might be. So today video, we got a couple of topics at hand. We got a few topics, both Bulls and Bears related. We got the Bears making a couple of moves. They signed a free agent and they released one of their players. Man, the cap space looking amazing. After the move they made, I believe it's at 24 million. Hopefully, I know it's not. I know no, this new regime is different, but hopefully we get a splash before the offseason over to even boost up the hype going into this offseason. I would love to have one of those receivers that looking for a new contract, which I understand if we don't. I understand that, but you can't help but just want something, like a Scary Terry or a DK Metcalf. Man, those guys are amazing players. But I understand if nothing happened. I just love when one of my favorite teams make a splash on the offseason. But next up we're gonna talk about Robert Quinn. No show for mini camp. What does the future hold for him and the Chicago Bears? Then we're gonna switch over and talk about some Bulls. Daniel Greenberg tweeted out an article for Eric Fisher, basically stating a couple of things. The Bulls looking at moves for Vooch, looking to move on the 18th pick and Kobe White, and of course Zach LaVine expected to return to Chicago Bulls, which I know he's going to come back. I'm just waiting for it to be announced. And I'm going to laugh at the Lakers fan base, the Spurs fan base, the Trailblazers fan base, who all the fan base who's saying Zach LaVine was going to come to their team. And I guarantee you this: once Zach LaVine re-signed with the Bulls, then everybody from the Mavericks fan base, the Portland fan base, the Lakers fan base, they all going to say, "Oh, Zach LaVine trash. We ain't need him no way. He not a winner." So it's just crazy to me. I just know that's what they're going to say about Zach LaVine once Zach LaVine choose to come back to Chicago Bulls. So yeah, first topic. Bears signed defensive tackle Mike Pennell, and they release Jeremiah Tachu. So first off, let's talk about Jeremiah Tachu. Only played in 5 games last year. I believe he got hurt against the Raiders. I forgot what week that was. But in the midst of the remainder of the season, let's go and try to see if we can pull up some stats right quick. Okay, 28 years old. Played in 5 games. Really didn't contribute any stats. 2 combined tackle, 1 solo tackle, 1 QB hit. That's pretty much it. Like I said, only played in 5 games. Still, 28 years old. This was kind of a shocker because I want to say last week or a week or 2 ago, he had a press conference and he sounded so happy to come in and compete for a spot, to learn the new system and just show the front office that he's a player. And wind up being released. Don't know the full details about that. So they go out and sign Mike Pennell, 30 years old, 20 years older than Jeremiah. Played with the Falcons. Played in 10 games, 21 combined tackles, 9 solo tackles, 12 assisted tackles, no tackle for loss, no QB hits, no sacks. So, okay numbers. Was a rotational piece for the Atlanta Falcons. I didn't watch the Falcons last year, so I'm not going to sit here and say I know what this guy capable of doing. But I did go and watch some footage on him, and like I said, I believe he'll be guy come in compete. This is a Ryan Post move. You buy low on a guy who can, still got potential to be something. Only 30 years old, so still got plenty of football left in his tank. Can still be a player, a nice rotational piece. I don't think he's going to come in and start, but I think he can be a nice rotational piece for that defensive tackle room. So small move, that's that's what to be expected from this Bears front office. Not saying it's a bad thing, but we're going to expect some small move. I think everybody just waiting for that one big move. We did have one big move with Larry Ogunjobi, but that kind of fell, didn't fall through. So we kind of just waiting for that, that one big free agent splash move for this Bears front office. So, just for being a fan, you want to see that one huge transaction from your front office. So I think it's coming. I don't know when, I don't know who, but I think we're going to get one big move. So next up, Robert Quinn will be a no-show for Bears mini camp. It's two ways you can look at this. The first way is the way that I'm leaning forward of looking at things, and that's Robert Quinn's a veteran player. He knows the defense. This is a guy who really don't need reps. Like you can drop him in any defense and he's gonna play. Like the cream gonna rise to the top. And Robert Quinn as a player, he proved that last year, 18 and a half sacks. But one thing, with things like this, they're gonna talk because you're on the outside looking in, so you don't really know what's going on. So you're gonna make rumors, you're gonna talk. Maybe you don't know. We don't know if Quinn called Ryan Post and say, "Hey, look, I'm gonna be there for training camp. I'm trying to get my body how I feel comfortable, with it. So I'm just chilling out. I'm still working out. I just, don't feel like being at mini camp right now. You can get those reps to the young guys and get them up to speed. I kind of know what my job is. Get to the quarterback, get sacks. I know that's my job. And, I will be ready training camp. So maybe they had that conversation. Maybe they didn't, but that's the way I'm looking at things right now because Robert Quinn came out and already said that he would like to be back with the Chicago Bears. Yes, you can say a lot of players say that in front of the media, but no, because if Robert Quinn really wanted out, I believe a move would have already been made. Once Khalil Mack would have been traded, I believe Robert Quinn would have been next if Robert Quinn would have said, yes, I want to play elsewhere. Because I still believe Robert Quinn value has not changed from, before the draft to now. So if somebody really wanted him, they probably would have got him. And I don't think the Bears probably would have been expecting too much like what they got from the Khalil Mack. At most, maybe could have got a 3rd round pick, and that's something the Bears could have used in the draft. So why not, make a deal? Even though you're going to, lose a very talented player on your defense, but you can also get a draft pick. You could probably got a 4th round draft pick. At worst, you probably could have got a 5th round pick, another player to come in, and to help this Bears team going forward. So that's why I believe Robert Quinn haven't really expressed, that he wanted to, to be traded. Just because off that, I believe a move would have been made before the draft because Ryan Post already said he wants to build through the draft. So why not? You already trade the best player, so why not trade the other best player to get more draft capital? So that's why I believe Robert Quinn have not really asked out. I believe he just, resting. He know what we know Robert Quinn's gonna bring. So why not give these guys like Dominique Robinson more reps, Trevin Gibson more reps, to have them ready come training camp. This is a different regime. Just not Matt Nagy giving Andy Dalton all the reps and Justin Fields just sitting to the side. This regime look like they're going to get their young players right, so they can be in the best position to succeed this upcoming season. They're not going to give a bunch of veteran players who they already know what they is the reps. They're just different. So and I hate that people going to kill them for these things, because that's what the media do. They like to kill the Bears. They like to say polls, even fools don't know their job, and it's mind blowing to me that these guys came in and changed the culture. Changed the culture. So I'm not. I'm if he get moved, he get moved. But right now, I'm not really buying too much into this, as I already know Bears media is going to go crazy for something like this. I'm really not. And if he do get traded, it might be the trade deadline. I believe Robert Quinn wants to play, wants to see what this team can do. And if we flaring around 500, trying to maybe creep into that playoff spot, and I believe he'll probably play the full season. This Bears team is not a bad team. It's got talent. So it's only a handful of teams that he can go to and make some noise. The Bills, the Rams, maybe the Broncos, Buccaneers. So those are the heavily Super Bowl favorite teams. The Chiefs, I don't think he would go to. I don't think the Bears will trade him to the Packers. So I'm scratching them off. The Ravens, maybe. So there's only a handful of teams that's really in win now mode. So we'll see. But right now, I'm not really going to go too crazy. So next up, let's get into the Bulls. Daniel Greenberg made a tweet about Jake Fisher, and hold on, said a couple of things. One, Zach LaVine is expected to re-sign with the Chicago Bulls. Well, we'll talk about that last. Two, the Bulls are exploring the trade market for Vucevic. I would probably have to give that a 30% chance of happening, because AK did say he liked to have camaraderie, and to trade Vucevic, I don't really think Vucevic's market is that high. Depending on what you traded him for. I mean, only you can only trade him for another center, swap out centers, and there's only 3 centers on the market that that could be trade pieces. I believe Rudy Gobert is one of those, but I don't think the Bulls want to add Pat Williams to get Rudy Gobert. Number 2 is Aiden. You're probably gonna have to offer a lot more for DeAndre Aiden. He only 23 years old. And I don't think the Phoenix Suns are going to give him away for a little bit of nothing. And number 3, probably the more reasonable, but they really offered kind of the same thing on the offensive end, but he just better than Vooch on the defensive end at blocking shots, protecting the rim. But I feel like they both are good rebounders though, and that's Miles Turner. That's one player who it's reasonable you to do a straight up swap for Vooch and Miles Turner. But I think the Pacers are trying to get younger. I could be wrong though. Like I said, I don't know what you can get from Vooch, because you set at the point guard, you set at the 2 guard, and you set at the 3 and the 4. So you only trade in Vooch to replace him with another 5. There's not a really lot of centers out there other than the 3 that I just named. But number 3, the Bulls are discussing the 18th pick and Kobe White with teams. That I'll probably give it maybe a 60% chance of happening. The 18th pick, don't get me wrong, the Bulls traded a bunch of picks, but I think they should keep this pick. I think they should only trade this, but I think they should only trade Kobe White in the 18th pick if they can get a really good bench player like a Harrison Barnes, like a TJ Warrens, or hell, even if you can try to find a way to make it work, you can get Malcolm Brogdon from the Pacers. I think the Pacers are trying to get rid of any of those veteran guys on that team to try to free up room for Chris Duarte and Tyrese Halliburton. And I think Duarte can maybe slide to the 3, move Kobe in at the 2, give us Malcolm Brogdon or TJ Warren, two good players, I believe, that can excel on the bench. So yeah, I think those type of players I would be cool with trading the 18th pick and Kobe White together. But I do think with this 18 pick, it's some guys in the draft that could come in and play right away, like an EJ Liddell, like Tyree Eason, Jalen Williams, couple few guys that I did my scouting. I still got a couple more guys that I can name. If you don't know about those guys, make sure you go on my channel. It's some videos about those guys, and watch them, and you get a glimpse of what you think about those guys. So as far as Kobe White, I don't think you probably get a lot just by trading Kobe White. I think the 18 pick will sweeten the pot, but you gotta look at the teams that's kind of on the rebuilding side. I don't think you're going to look at a playoff team, and I don't think they are looking to add another draft pick. They are in win now mode, just like the Bulls are in win now mode. So teams like the Pacers, the Kings, that's kind of in that fringe, that could be good, but it's the Kings. The Kings are never good. Or the Pacers, like they got a bunch of players, but they don't know what they want to do with them. So I think the Pacers even though they like the division rival, I think that's a perfect trade partner for the Bulls. So maybe trying to get them Kobe White and the 18 pick for a TJ Warren or Malcolm Brogdon. So, but I'm gonna do a separate video about trade targets that probably drop next week. Last up, let's talk about Zach LaVine. What? Not really nothing to really talk about. I expect Zach LaVine to resign to the Bulls. I'm just waiting for it to be announced. I feel like everything Zach LaVine want is here in Chicago. This front office showed that they all in on you. They gave you players to make the playoff with. They gave you a head coach that that works well with you. They asked for your opinion. To me, I feel like he's still the face of this team. Yes, DeMar had the best season, but when you talk about Chicago Bulls, you're talking about Zach LaVine. And I don't think DeMar will have another MVP type season back to back. I mean, it's possible. I would love to see it, but I think Zach LaVine next year is going to be the year Zach LaVine make his stamp of yes, this is my. Well, he already made his stamp. This is team, but I think he will have a even more better season next year. Because I think last year, he just deferred to DeMar a lot because DeMar was the veteran, which we've seen it happen with Chris Paul and Devin Booker. So I'm not really buying that. Zach LaVine think DeMar number one and all that. Because if you go anywhere else, you're going to be a number two or number three. So I mean, everything here in Chicago is pretty much made for you, Zach. Get the most money, one of the best markets in the league. You got your own shoe. The people still buying Derrick Rose shoes here in Chicago. Even though they New Balance, people still gonna buy them. I'm not really a Adidas guy, but hey, I went out and copped some Derrick Rose merch. Zach, you're my guy. I fuck with Zach. I go out and buy some New Balance because I'm supporting my guy Zach LaVine. So Bulls fans going to support you no matter what. So everything is set up for Zach LaVine here in Chicago. So that's why I'm really 100% expecting Zach LaVine to resign. Go out and get wine and dine. That contract is waiting for you. That 200 mil is waiting for you right here in Chicago, man. And I do believe Zach LaVine is going to be a part of this crew once we start being an elite championship contending team. Because I feel like we only a couple pieces away from being that team and healthy at that. So that's all I got for you guys. Let me know what you guys think down there in the comment section. I will be down there chatting with you guys. Don't forget to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend to check out On The Go Chicago Sports with that boy Mike B. Yeah, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Enjoy you guys tonight, weekend. Don't forget, get your father something for Father's Day, man. Father's Day this weekend, man. Don't forget about your pops. That's all I got for you guys, man. Peace.